Welcome to this week's Blonde Intelligence. I'm your host, Miss Roni, where I always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. And these past couple of weeks, there's been so many things going on, but the major thing for me, it's a lot of, to me, things that think people should be worried about, such as the price of food and what's going on with the agriculture industry and how it affects the entertainment industry. The collapse of the American agriculture industry would have significant financial repercussions for the entertainment industry. The intertwining of these sectors, particularly reality TV, the intertwining of these sectors can be attributed to various economic and cultural factors. Firstly, the American agriculture industry contributes billions to the economy, which directly affects consumer spending power. And I know right now, I can't remember what network it is particularly, but a lot of people are canceling their subscriptions. Since I only subscribe to Tubi and I know that it's not Tubi, I'm not going to worry about it. But a lot of people are saying in their posts that we're the consumer. We're the one who control what dollars major entertainment giants receive. So it does directly affect consumer spending power, and consumers do have the spending power. And the power is in the consumer. As agriculture outputs decline, food prices are likely to rise, leading to decreased disposable income among consumers. This drop in discretionary spending can result in a lower viewership of reality TV shows, as audiences may prioritize essential spending over entertainment. Research from the Bureau of Economic Analysis indicates that a 10% increase in food prices can reduce entertainment spending by approximately 5%. This was in 2022. This trend could significantly impact the revenue generated from advertising and sponsorships for reality TV shows, as brands may pull back on marketing investments during economic downturns. So I think that a lot of people like that are in like these ad sponsorship program, partnership programs or whatever. I think that every so often the rules get changed when too many people start, I would say, following the blueprint for it. And that's to keep, I think, the company within the financial gains that they want to be in. But secondly, reality TV shows thrive on the portrayal of glamorous lifestyles, often showcase luxury and excesses that can become less relatable during economic hardships, like going to spend the money on the nails, going spend the money on the hair, men buying expensive cars but living in the dump. I mean, things like that. Trying to showcase, hey, I'm living the life. For instance, I'm not going to say the name of this show, but it often depicts affluent lifestyles that may appear out of reach for a financially strained audience. A study published in the Journal of Media Economics illustrates that reality TV programs focusing on wealth and luxury experience a decline in viewership ratings during periods of economic instability. As audiences find it difficult to connect with the lavish lifestyle showcased in these shows, networks may face declining ratings, leading to reduced funding and production of new seasons. So I even think about shows like Love and Hip Hop and Baddies and all these shows like this. During economic downturns, people are not going to want to pay money to go look at foolishness. They're going to want to look at, to me, because I find myself looking at like YouTubers that like live in their van or build tiny houses or um, live off grid. All these different things to me I find are finding fascinating because if the world did get to you had to survive, I feel like looking at these types of things would give you so many ideas for survival if we ever got to that. Not looking at who got a 30-inch weave or um, even some of the cooking shows and all of that. I think like Dollar Tree dinners and Cooking with Dawn, they show how you can budget for so many people for a whole week on a certain amount of dollars, and they have large viewerships because people care about those things. And although I deal with independent artists, before you're an independent artist, you have to be able to take care of you, besides all the expenses that you have to foot on your own. And I want that the people who depend on that income that's in that sector of reality TV to think about that during economic hardships, you may not get a new season. You may be part of a reboot or something. But just be mindful of the economic situations and how it's a trickle down effect to everybody. Lastly, the agriculture industry collapse could lead to a broader cultural shift, with audiences becoming more interested in realistic portrayals of struggle and resilience. And that's what I was just speaking on. I even know the way that I consume has changed based on what's going on around the world. This shift could prompt a rise in documentaries and docuseries focusing on the realities of food scarcity and economic hardship, thus changing the programming landscape. According to a report by Nielsen, there has been a notable increase in viewership for content that addresses real world issues in the wake of economic crisis. This cultural transition could further marginalize existing reality TV formats that prioritize entertainment over authenticity. And we talked about this so many times where some of these reality TV shows are scripted and not necessarily what actually happens. And you have to be able to create some tension or friction with someone, not to the point of that is that you really don't like each other, but for good TV. And I think that people are going to get tired of that when they're hungry or worrying about how they're going to pay their rent or their mortgage, or you're working and all your money go to bills before you even get your paycheck. So people want to know about that struggle, about how you can build a fireplace, what would be more economically cheaper. Um, like I said, the cooking shows. What is her name? I can't remember her name, but the name of her show on YouTube is Dollar Tree Dinners, and another one is Cooking with Dawn, and how they show how you can budget with a little bit. And I think more and more people are gravitating to that. In conclusion, the collapse of the American agriculture industry would financially impact the entertainment industry, particularly reality TV shows, by reducing consumer spending, altering viewership dynamics, and fostering a shift in content preference. As the audience's economic realities change, so too with their entertainment choices, leading to a redefined landscape for reality television. And I was watching probably listening because it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to like I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it had where they were giving advice. So even with independent music artists, a lot of expenses you have to pay on your own. So they were giving occupations that would help people make it through this economic times and not be scathed by it. And not saying that this is just for men, because this is for women too, but it was saying men get apprenticeships in the trades. So if you can go to trade school or work under somebody in an apprenticeship program in plumbing, in carpentry, in electrical, in HVAC, all those things, those are going to be in demand. You're not going to feel the pinch like a person that's working a regular 9 to 5. And this is for men too and women. If you don't want to, I guess, work in that area, the healthcare aides, anything in healthcare right now would be beneficial. And I know that there's been cuts to a lot of patients, but people still have insurance, even though they're going to have insurance premiums. Working in that area can help you stay afloat and not get bit so hard by the economic pinch. It said men and women, diversify your portfolios. If you don't have them, put them together. Because like I said, I can't remember what I was watching, but they was talking about that we may not be able to get chips for computers. And I think about how important the computer is to the entertainment industry, especially to the independent music artists, because that's how you get your music uploaded. Whether you're doing it the correct way or not, you have to upload it. So the computers is a major thing. Women get SBA grants and loans. SBA Business Development Program, SBA Microloan Program, where you can borrow up to $50,000, SBA Community Advantage Loan, SBA Express Loan Program, SBA Women Owned Small Business Program, and grants for women entrepreneurs. So, men, if you have these businesses, put them in your wife's name. Only if they're your wife, only if you trust them, only if they're your best friend, and let them get some of these grants for your business and these loans for your business, because you're going to have to become financially savvy soon. And that's all I have for you this week. And remember, you can catch the podcast on all podcasting platforms. And I say that, but I mean, you can go to Spotify, you can go to Apple, you can go to Pandora, you can go to anywhere that you consume music. You can consume my podcast there. And you also can catch me on YouTube. And just remember to subscribe, comment, tell me what you think. And I will see you next week. Bye. Learn about the indie artist from the indie artist.
Well, I'm Janaki. I'm an artist.
Well, my name is Lauren, as you already said. I am a singer-songwriter.
So I'm Hal Pems. I originally come from the Caribbean, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
My name is Brian Doucette. I'm an East Coast Canadian rocker.
And then I found myself in Las Vegas, where I'm at currently, for dancing for Cirque du Soleil with my own solo.
But also learn from music industry professionals.
I'm a music producer. I've been producing professionally for about 14 years. I have worked with a couple people in the industry, Grammy-nominated Trev Rich, Nisha from 702.
After I got my deal with Universal Music, after the Alicia Keys and Gunna record and many others that I've done, and then Alicia Keys was the #1 adult R&B song of the year.
I asked the questions.
That's a great question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Ooh, that is a good question.
Wow. I love all these questions. These are great. Like most of the questions that I get are like, tell me about Justin Bieber. It's like,
Indie Artist Music Hustle is for the indie artists, their fans, industry professionals, and the music lover. Subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, or the podcast on Apple, Spotify, Pandora, or Blonde Intelligence Facebook page. Don't forget to add me to your playlist. Bye.
It's been really fun, especially talking to someone across the pond. That's cool.